Cancelled.
Schweezy.
Now I want to get on to what I've actually been watching this week. So I've been watching a lot of interesting things, a lot of it on Discovery Plus, especially Investigation Discovery, which is all murder shit. Just all murders. Nothing else. Murders. If you love murders, you will definitely...
And I really like that.
You'll definitely really like that, folks. So I want to just get into the first thing I watched. Before we get into the serial killer, the murderers, let's get into just a movie I decided to watch yesterday. From 2019. Yesterday. So basically, this movie is somehow this guy named Jack. He gets sent to he has an accident, and now he lives in a universe where the Beatles, along with Harry Potter and cigarettes, for some reason are added into it, where the Beatles specifically never existed. So in this universe, the Beatles never existed. So how did the main character Jack get into this universe? Well, he crashed his bike. That's it. That's how he got there. He got in a crash, knocked some teeth out, probably hit his head. Most likely, he's probably in a coma. Ended up in the hospital. So he basically ended up in the hospital, missing some teeth. Looked like most British people. It's mainly set in Britain. And then he transformed himself into an alternate universe where the Beatles never existed. And many decisions there. So the big thing you can say, though, is with that. So you figure out you're in a universe where one of the biggest bands that have ever existed never exist. Well, biggest bands that ever exist now doesn't exist. So there's a lot of things you can do with that information. Live the rest of your life with just knowing the Beatles never exist and be like, oh man, I'm never going to listen to those songs again. Or you do what our buddy Jack does and decides to rip them off 100%. So he goes through all this chaos to try to remember all the lyrics to every Beatles song. That's where I would have given up because I am terrible at memorizing lyrics. I can barely remember the ones I write. Sometimes, folks, it's not unusual for me to forget lyrics sometimes. But no, he does it. He takes the whole movie trying to figure out Eleanor Rigby eats all the rice in the church. No, that's not it. He doesn't eat the rice. Picks up the rice. That one's the one I could probably actually figure it out. Father Mackenzie writing a sermon that no one would hear when it comes near. And I guess you can make up some extra words. I mean, that's a song you could probably make up some shit to. As long as you get all the lonely people, where do they all come from? All the lonely people, where do I'm singing off key. Do they all come from? That's a hard song though. Look at all the lonely people. Now, that part you got to get right. But everything else, I feel like you probably beat us right there. And they changed "Hey Jude" to "Hey Dude," and then eventually there's two people who were also transported to this universe with them, and they're like, you changed "Hey Jude" to "Hey Dude." I don't know. I was reminded with "Hey Jude," though. One of my I think it's probably one of my favorite Beatles. Maybe my favorite Beatles song. I'm not too sure. But the fact with it is, though, when I was in high school, our high school marching band, I was doing the pit because I was like, fuck carrying a fucking 30-pound drum and not playing very well. So we played "Hey Jude," and then there's this part at the end where na 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 na, "Hey Jude," and then basically it was the whole band had to sing it, and we're clapping along to it. Basically, and in the actual song though, John Lennon has it's a category of music that I only have 2 songs right now, and I'm trying to find more. And I would love your help if you have the song. Basically, where one of the artists basically just has a stroke while singing the song. And na 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 na, "Hey Jude," and then John Lennon's like, "Jude, Jude, 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 hey, wow." He's basically doing that the whole, he's just doing that at the outro. So basically, I like to have categories that as songs that people have had a stroke while they sing it. Another famous song is Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is coming to town. He's like, at the end of it, he's like, Santa, Santa, Santa. So he's basically having a stroke at the end of his singing like Santa. So if anyone else has songs where a singer has a stroke during the song while singing, please put that to my attention because I need that information, folks. I need it. So basically, and eventually, I don't want to spoil anything, the ending to you, but there is a very heartwarming moment. He actually visits John Lennon. It's a very, very heartwarming moment. He actually visits John Lennon. So in this universe, since the Beatles never existed, John Lennon still exists, and like Paul McCartney still exists, but they're only gonna, and George Harrison still exists. Well, he died of, well, see, that's a weird plot hole in it. So cigarettes never existed in this universe, meaning that, was it, what the fuck, George Harrison, would he have didn't he die from lung cancer? I'm just going to check. George Harrison died lung cancer. Yeah, he died of lung cancer. So would he have gotten lung cancer? Would have George Harrison still be alive in that universe? But now we're just going to visit John. He was shot. He gives him the advice. It's very heartwarming, but basically, to sum it up, he says, never lie, and tell her you love her, which is like very heartwarming. You'll get it if you watch the movie, folks. But no, I really liked Yesterday. I think I want to get my parents to watch it. I think they'd really enjoy it. Mom, I don't think my mom knows who the Beatles are. I'm going to be honest with you. Does my mom know who the Beatles are? There is a 50-50 shot. I think the best thing I want to try and do is play a Beatles song and see if she knows who it is, because I'm going to guarantee she doesn't. How she grew up when the Beatles were popular, maybe. I don't really know how old my mom. She was born 62, I want to say. Yeah, she should have heard of the Beatles. I think in nowhere fucking Missouri, the Beatles still existed. I lived near there too. I know the Beatles existed. So I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, though, everyone go check out the movie Yesterday. It's pretty fun. It's a fun movie. Fun shit. Love with Dizzy and your, okay, it's just anyone from Spotify, folks. Next up, we're gonna get into the murders now, folks. I know you've been waiting all this episode for the murders.
That's rough, buddy.
And now you can no longer rough and
Simp.
And now we're simp. I don't even just press the buttons here. Just trying to get the use out of all this.
Be gone, fuck!
So let's get into it. So, funny enough, Investigation Discovery has a couple, like 2 on Joe Exotic. I guess, like, and these are 2020 things. Like, they, like, legit knew that Tiger King was popular on Netflix. And so they're like, we got to jump on this bandwagon, see if we can get content. And no one has ever heard of it except for me. And I discovered it now. And now I'm going to talk about it. So, one documentary about Joe Exotic, Tigers, Lies, and Cover Up, which is, like, barely about Joe Exotic at all. Barely about Joe Exotic at all. Only thing it is about, they went through, like we were following on the show. If you're a weekly listener on the show, you would know that we were talking about Joe Exotic trying to get a pardon from former Orange in Chief Donald Trump, but never happened, and he's still in jail to this day. But this goes over this idea that Carol fucking Baskin and Jeff Lowe actually teamed up and used the opportunity to try to set up Joe to get rid of him. I think it's very interesting because Jeff Lowe was apparently he had some like lawsuit. He got in trouble in Vegas, I guess, and then like one of the lawsuits was just forgotten about, and then apparently in the story where the idea of how Joe got sent to prison, I think killing like 5 tigers was one of them. But another thing is he hired Jeff Lowe's dumb bald friend to kill Carol Baskin, and he never showed up to kill Carol Baskin. And they knew about the attempt, and Joe was under arrest for that shit. That's the question we have there. And so, yeah, that's the question we have in regards to what was going on there. So, they kind of go through that. But, you know, Joe Exotic and that bald guy that Jeff Lowe's friends with, apparently did not get along at all. So like the weird thing is like, why would he hire him to do the assassination? And then he never went through with it. That's also a very interesting question that we have here, folks. A very interesting question indeed as to why they were hired. So it's very interesting there. And then that's all they really covered, and that's like 10 minutes. The rest of the 2 episodes of this are investigating Carol Baskin murdering ex-husband Don Lewis. So obviously, if you watch Tiger King at all, it's been over a year, so you should have had time to digest it or see it. And if you haven't seen it, get a fucking life. So obviously, you know, there's that. Well, but they go into the Carol Baskin trying to murder her husband, and they go back into that case. So here's one thing they investigated on it. So at one point, Don Lewis was trying to get a restraining order from Carol fucking Baskin, and at the same time, apparently, while he was trying to get that restraining order, Don was also changing his will to make sure that Carol received everything and nothing went to his children or ex-wife or et cetera, et cetera. So yeah. So at the same time, no, I don't know anyone stupid enough to get a restraining order and change their will to leave everything to the person they're getting the restraining order from. That's a little weird. But no, they had like someone like analyze like the signatures and like all of Don's signatures and like everything they know is legit. And wouldn't you have it? It's fake. The signature is fake. Now, does this prove that Carol killed Don? Not yet, no. Basically, all it says was Carol forged his will. Basically, that's all it is. So going with their theory that he went off the grid and went to Costa Rica, that idea, like when he went to Costa Rica, that she changed the will very quickly in case he was dead. And worst case scenario, he comes back and then he changes it again. That's the situation I think is a good alibi for the situation. She just wanted to make sure she got all the money because Carol's kind of a bitch. And they actually, with more on the investigation, like when they got like his van that was mysteriously left at an airport, at the private airport, the only fingerprints was from the mechanic from a couple days earlier, but they were only on the dashboard. Nothing on the wheels, nothing on the door, nothing of that. Just on like everything was wiped clean in that car, except for like a few little spots, which was the mechanic. And he had the alibi of working on the van. And so it's definitely not him. And I can't imagine it was him. So like they also interview like Carol's boyfriend and his son after Dawn, and they're like, Carol's very cold and evil, very mean, and she's like, you're only allowed on this side of the house, and you're not allowed on this side of the house, and she's just very mean and not a very good person, at least the son said compared to his dad, and Carol tries to put off this animal-loving PETA type portrayal that she's like a goddess and like very good and very humane, but like what you learn in that documentary, obviously she's just as bad as Joe and Jeff and not Kelsey. Kelsey was in it. I don't think he goes by Kelsey. Kelsey was the guy who got his arm bitten off by the tiger. Now, I think they say Kelsey is a woman, and I think Kelsey goes by a new name, but I don't know the new name, so sorry for that, Kelsey's new name. But they did not put in the documentary that Kelsey transitioned. That Kelsey is now transitioned to male. So they didn't do that in the documentary, but just want to make sure everyone aware of that because Kelsey looks like a man, is acting like a man, and if someone's looking and acting like a man, regardless of their genitals, they can be a man. So as long as if you put in effort to be a new gender, that's all that counts to me. As long as you put in the effort. But no, and then I guess they had one theory like Don owned a lake house, that lake house near like lake house with a lake filled with alligators and crocodiles. I don't know if it's one or the other in Florida. I don't know a lot about it. Like I said, I'm an animal Darwinist. Dogs and cats are cool. Some birds are cool. Crocodiles and alligators, we can kill them all. I don't really care. But no, so they think that maybe she fed them to the alligators. And also MatPat had a video from forever ago saying that Carol and Don didn't actually own any tigers or lions at the time of the disappearance / actually murder. So it would have been fed to like bobcats or something like that. So that's a good idea. But this one goes a little bit further, saying that it could have been thrown into the lake and fed to the alligators, which is a very cool thing when you live in Florida. So I guess they're kind of like analyzing, seeing if there's like any sort of like DNA evidence, like a bone or a tooth or some shit like that there in the lake that they could like dig up. And if it's Don Lewis, then they have at least basically like someone killed Don Lewis, threw him in the lake. So very much a little bit more, I mean, obviously innocent till proven guilty for white people. It's a little different for other races, apparently. I don't make the rules. But anyways, yeah, innocent until proven guilty with Carol. Speaking of innocent until proven guilty, let's get the other thing I watch. It's the OJ trial of the century, 25 years later. I think ended in 95. So yeah, that would have been not that long ago. So y'all probably know what the OJ Simpson trial is. I know what the OJ Simpson trial is. I watch a lot of that stuff. This was just like all the news coverage that went over it. And then this is one guy's in the middle. It's like, the Bronco chase was incredible, wasn't it? And then let's go to a commercial break. But I have ad-free Discovery Plus because I'm best. And yeah, and then they're just going back into it. But, you know, so I've watched a ton of content on the OJ Simpson trial. And I 100% believe that OJ did it. Like, there's just so much to it. OJ, we found your blood at the crime scene. I don't know. Anyways, but no, so I know he did it. Every time I watch any sort of trial of it or the trial of OJ Simpson, I always root for OJ.
That's rough, buddy.
I don't know. I always root for OJ. I always want OJ to win. And I know he's a bad person, folks. I know he's bad. But every time I get into it, I always root for OJ. I want OJ to win. I like his lawyers. Even the Kardashian one, I like him too. I don't know. And they kind of made it like a racial thing. And when it gets to a racial thing, I just think, fuck cops. All cops, fuck them. It didn't help they had Mark Furman, the super fucking racist cop, who pled the fifth on tampering with evidence. And that's like the only thing that could convince me that OJ didn't do it is that they tampered with evidence. Now, I think they had enough evidence to prove he actually did it, but I think anything with that, once they did that, I feel like you just let OJ free. And that's why you don't hire racist cops. But will they stop hiring racist cops? No, because that means they would stop hiring cops to be cops. So we all know what's up. So yeah, there's also that race, and they made it a race trial. And then when it's a race trial, it's like I want to fuck the cops. I don't even know for me. I'm saying I obviously agree with I obviously agree that police should be held accountable for what they do to black men and black women and shit like that. But also, I just fucking hate cops. I think I hate cops more than that. But I also want racial equality too. You know what I'm trying to say, folks. You know what I'm trying to say. It's just a podcast. But also, I think the one thing, he definitely killed Nicole and Ron. And I think Ron was just there, the wrong place, wrong time for him. But, like, you think about it, though. OJ Simpson, he's the only one who 100% knows if he did or didn't kill Nicole and Ron. He would be the only person to say if he did or didn't do it. He's pleaded that he never did it. Enough evidence shows he did, but also the police tampering, that's the only... I would say, okay, I'll say 99% OJ did it. The 1% is for the police tampering, but still, folks, that's all I have to say, though. Like, I'm so interested in this OJ case. When they made it a racial thing, Rodney King, all that stuff, Los Angeles, so interesting. It's like OJ was a very loved guy, and then one day he was not loved anymore, and then one day he killed people. He killed 2 people, and it doesn't help that he keeps making knife jokes. It does not help at all, and it didn't help that he wrote a book. If I did do it, and that everyone's like, oh, he definitely did it after he wrote that. And there's that, and then there's also the fact that he probably didn't have a lot of money. One, like, I don't know how much football things he had, any football things, but definitely not getting sponsors anymore. His acting career is pretty much done. I can say that his acting career is pretty much done. He had to basically do weird ass shit to make keep money coming in that we could pay those lawyers. And so basically, yeah, he had to do that. He created a reality, like a punked type show called Juiced, where he was supposed to prank people, but also OJ was involved somehow, and they were really banking on the fact that people thought OJ killed Nicole and Ron. And then some people did not know who OJ Simpson was. I just watched someone else review it. Only way you can watch that, Juiced, the OJ Simpson prank show, is through Netflix. Streaming Netflix? No. DVD Netflix. So if you want to upgrade your plan to add DVDs, you can watch Juiced, OJ Simpson's failed prank show that never went off the ground. The production company, you may ask, did redneck wrestling, backyard wrestling stuff. Yep, that's what it was, folks. Yeah, though. Also, I think my final point I want to say about all this OJ Simpson mumbo jumbo, a wop bop a loo bop a wop bamboo, is that I don't like Marsha Clark, the lead prosecutor. I just don't like her. She gives me a bad vibe, her vibe. And I think in the was it the People versus OJ Simpson with Cool Runnings or whatever his name is, Snow Dogs guy. I don't think he was in Cool Runnings. Actually, we're gonna have to look that up, folks. I'm looking it up right now. Cool Runnings cast. Cool Runnings near me. Yep, I was not being racist when I said that. Just thinking of a black person. He goes for Snow Dogs. I got Snow Dogs and Cool Runnings mixed up, folks. Don't at me. Sorry, I got them mixed up. Okay. The guy from Cool Snow Dogs was in it. But leading onto it, though, I don't like Marsha Clark. She just gives me a bad vibe. And then like I said, in that People versus O.J. Simpson, said she was like a sexual assault victim and she wanted to support that. That's cool and all, but the vibe was off with her. Something was off with her. I feel like sometimes you just get wrong intentions from people. She had a Dolores Umbridge vibe to her, and I just did not like that. I did not like that at all. One bit, now or forever. Yeah, I just didn't get a bad vibe from her. And I think, when you watch it, you're just like, yeah, fuck the police, OJ's free. And then you realize, oh, we just let a guy who beats women and murders them free. Okay, folks. So in conclusion, my still thoughts on the OJ Simpson trial after watching that. He still killed those people. 99% sure, 1% involves the tampering of evidence. Then I still have questions about. Marsha Clark gives me a bad vibe. Investigation Discovery. Folks, if you want to watch all the murder stuff you want, I know some couples are really into the murder. It's like, she killed her, he killed her, she killed him. It's like, oh, baby, that's so hot. So I don't know why that's something for some people. But I guess it is, folks. So I can't tell you what you like and dislike. But I can tell you, if you like murder stuff, Discovery Plus, go to the Investigation Discovery tab. Or better yet, just get Discovery Plus, go to the search bar, search whatever serial killer you want to look into. You'll find them. And with that, you're going to learn a lot and have a lot of fun. Charles Manson. Looks like I think I watched something about Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy. I think he's my favorite serial killer, mainly because he was too stupid to stop. And I think if he would have when he ran away to Florida, and if he would have stopped, he would still be out there and living a normal life now. Or better yet, he probably should have just moved to Canada. I think the problem for him is he just couldn't stop killing women and having sex with their dead bodies. Sometimes addiction gets too far, folks. If your loved one suffers from any sort of addiction, please email the schwegcast@gmail.com, because I don't have a phone number set up for you to actually call and help you out, folks. I don't know. You know what? I'm just going to end it right here, folks. That's what I've been watching this week. Like I said, if you want to watch more murder murder stuff, just check out Investigation Discovery and every other great program on Discovery Plus. Well, hey there, Schwokelord. You just finished a full clip from the show. I hope you liked it, and I hope your brain cells don't hurt. If you want to check out more, we got more links here. We got full episodes, more clips, and the best of everything. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe, and like this video if you enjoyed it.